Reginald Mitchell. He headed the design team, and it was put together with his experience with the Schneider Cup, the racing seaplanes, together with the Rolls-Royce. It's a sound that once heard is never ever forgotten. The 24 different marks of Spitfire were characterised in the later marks by the use of the Rolls-Royce Griffon engine, which produced over 2,000 horsepower and rotated in the opposite direction, and operated down in the China-Burma India Theatre, plus in the northwest area of the South Pacific. Used by again, that unmistakable was assembled inside the building, and they used to operate the flaps and the undercarriage. When Sydney Tech disposed of the aircraft, this had been stripped out considerably and the parts used for display boards for various components. And one of the aeroplanes went to a guy called Titus Oates. He owned the Royal 16 Hotel. Of those coming in at that rate and that height. There's a museum at Camden called the Camden Museum of Aviation, strangely enough, and that was in Australia since the end of the war. It was just painted up because they'd forgotten to paint out the eyes for the smaller shark mouth. Of course, it became more and more ferocious as people were allowed to continue the use of it until they came up with this marking here, which is the ultimate. You can see RG on the side. That is not the squadron code. ZP is the squadron code for 457 Squadron. But because Bobby Gibbs was a wing commander, he had the privilege of putting his initials on the aircraft. The V was his individual aircraft letter, V for victory. And he had that on his Kitty Hawk when he flew in the Middle East, the Western Desert. And he also applied it to a captured BF-109, Messerschmitt 109, that 3 Squadron flew for a while, to give guys the idea of what it would be like to be attacked, the new guys on the squadron. And that 109 still exists. It's actually part of the Battle of Britain collection as part of the RAF Museum, and it was actually flying for quite some time.